Right now, somewhere in your kitchen, there is food you will never eat. It goes soft in the fruit bowl. You throw it away without thinking. But your body doesn't know that. Your body still thinks the next meal might not come. Because for most of human history, it usually didn't. You crave sugar, you crave fat, you crave salt. You've been told this is weakness. It isn't. It's memory, it's a survival program written by hundreds of thousands of years of hunger, and it is still running inside you right now. So what did ancient humans actually eat when the hunt failed? The answer is stranger than you expect. Forget the image of a caveman gnawing a mammoth leg every night. Big game was rare. Big game was dangerous. Anthropologist Kristen Hawkes studied the Hadza, one of the last hunter-gatherer groups on Earth, and found that hunters often came home empty-handed. So who fed the group? Women, grandmothers. Not with meat, with tubers. Thick, starchy roots buried deep in dry soil, tough enough to survive drought. Boring food, and reliable beats delicious when you're starving. Here's what surprises people. Starvation food wasn't rare food, it was the food nobody wanted in good times. Insects for one, termites, grubs, beetle larvae, high in fat, available almost year-round, eaten by hunter-gatherer societies not as an emergency, but as a steady staple. Then bone marrow. When lions and hyenas had already stripped a carcass clean, one thing remained. Crack the bone open, and there's fatty, calorie-dense marrow inside. Scraps that scavenging early humans could still reach. Not glamorous, but it kept people alive. And when even that ran out? Bark. The soft inner layer beneath the rough outer shell of a tree. Barely nutritious, barely edible, and still, across famine records from multiple continents, humans turned to it. Because the alternative was worse. Now here's where it gets personal. Geneticist James Neel proposed the thrifty gene hypothesis decades ago. Populations that survived repeated famine may have evolved bodies that store fat with unusual efficiency, bodies that hoard calories the second they appear, because the next famine is never far away. Your ancestors who survived hunger weren't the ones who burned calories fastest, they were the best hoarders, and you carry that inheritance right now. Does that sound familiar? It should. When you skip a meal and can't stop eating an hour later, that's not failure. That's ancient famine memory switching on. When your body stores fat faster than you'd like, that's not a malfunction. That's an old insurance policy, still active, aimed at a world that no longer needs it. Researchers studying historical famine populations found something else too. Real hunger doesn't just change what people eat, it changes how the brain thinks while eating. Food seeking takes over. Everything else narrows. Sound like you at 11 at night, standing in front of an open fridge you swore you wouldn't open. That's not a personal flaw. That's an inherited alarm system that can't tell the difference between an actual famine and a stressful Tuesday. Ancient humans didn't eat what tasted best when they were starving. They ate what kept them alive. Tubers over meat, insects over nothing, marrow scraped from bones nobody else wanted. And their bodies rewarded every calorie by clinging to it, refusing to let it go. That reward system never got the memo that the famine ended. You live surrounded by overflowing grocery aisles, and inside you is a survival machine built for scarcity. That's the mismatch. That's why the craving beats the willpower. That's why just eat less sounds simple and rarely works, because you're not fighting a lack of discipline. You're fighting a program that kept your entire lineage alive when the alternative was extinction. So next time you can't stop thinking about food, remember what your ancestors ate when they were truly starving. Bark, bugs, bones nobody else wanted. And remember, your body still treats every meal like it might be the last one for a while. There is food in your kitchen right now that you will never eat. You'll let it go soft. You'll throw it away without a second thought. Your ancestors couldn't imagine that kind of waste. Not from carelessness. Because they knew in their bones, quite literally, that the next meal was never guaranteed. Your body still knows that too. It just forgot to tell you why.